My son Oliver's heart surgery was scheduled for May 14th at 6 a.m. He was 7 years old, terrified, and facing a 4-hour procedure to repair a congenital valve defect. I'd told my family about it 6 weeks in advance. I called everyone personally, explained how serious it was, how scared Oliver was, and how much we could use their support. My mother promised she'd be there. Of course, sweetheart. We'll all be there. Oliver needs his family. My sister Diane said she'd take the day off work. My brother Marcus said he'd drive down from Portland. My father said he'd bring Oliver's favorite stuffed animal. The night before surgery, Oliver couldn't sleep. Will Grandma really be there when I wake up? He asked, his small hand gripping mine. She promised, buddy. Everyone promised. What if I don't wake up? My heart broke. You will wake up. The doctors are excellent, and I'll be right there the whole time. But everyone else too. They'll all be there? They'll all be there. That was the last promise I should have made. We arrived at the hospital at 5:30 a.m. Oliver was brave through check-in, changing into his gown, and meeting the anesthesiologist. But his eyes kept darting to the waiting room entrance. Where's Grandma? He whispered as they prepped him for surgery. She's probably parking. Traffic, you know. And Uncle Marcus? He had a long drive. He'll be here. The nurse came to wheel him to the operating room. Oliver grabbed my hand, tears streaming down his face. Mom, I'm scared. I know, baby, but you're so brave, and when you wake up, everyone will be there to see you. They took him away at 6:02 a.m. I walked to the waiting room and checked my phone. No messages, no missed calls. I waited. 6:30 a.m. nothing. 7:00 a.m. still nothing. At 7:15 I called my mother. Voicemail. I called Diane. Voicemail. Marcus. Voicemail. My father finally answered at 7:45. Oh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry. Your mother and I can't make it today. Something came up with Diane's wedding planning. We need to meet the venue coordinator this morning. Dad, Oliver is in surgery right now. You promised you'd be here. Well, we didn't realize the venue appointment would be today. It's the only time they had available. So reschedule it. The wedding is in 3 weeks. We can't reschedule. Diane needs us. Oliver needs you. He's 7 years old and having heart surgery. He'll be fine. He's a tough kid. Tell him we're thinking of him. He hung up. I sat in that waiting room for 4 hours, alone, watching other families cluster together, supporting each other. Every child who came out of surgery had grandparents, aunts, uncles, and siblings waiting. Oliver had me. When they finally let me into recovery, Oliver was groggy but awake. His eyes searched the room. Where is everyone? His voice was small and broken. They couldn't make it, sweetie. But I'm here, and the surgery went perfectly. They promised. He started crying, which made his chest hurt, which made him cry harder. A nurse came over with pain medication. She looked at me with such pity it made me want to scream. My 7-year-old son, recovering from heart surgery, crying because his family didn't show up. We went home the next day. Oliver was quiet, withdrawn. I tried to keep his spirits up, but he barely spoke. My mother called that evening. How's our little soldier? Heartbroken, literally and figuratively. Oh, don't be dramatic. I'm sure he's fine. Kids are resilient. He's devastated that no one came. He keeps asking why you didn't show up. Well, the wedding planning was important. Diane's big day is coming up. Oliver's surgery was important. It was life-threatening. He was terrified. But it went fine, right? So everything worked out. I hung up on her. 3 days later, 3 days after my son's heart surgery, my phone buzzed with a text from my mother. Mom, hi sweetheart. We need to talk about something important. Diane found her dream wedding dress, but it's $5,000. We're asking all the family to chip in. Can you send your contribution by Friday? We need to secure it before someone else buys it. I stared at that message for a full minute. $5,000 for a dress. 3 days after they'd all skipped Oliver's surgery for wedding planning. I walked to Oliver's room. He was sleeping, still pale, still wearing his hospital bracelet, a 4-inch scar on his tiny chest. I walked back to my phone and opened my banking app. I transferred exactly 50 cents to my mother's account. Then I typed a message. For the veil. Best wishes. I hit send. Then I did something I'd been considering for months but had never had the courage to do. Years ago, when I'd gotten a significant raise, my parents had convinced me to add them as authorized users on one of my accounts just in case of emergencies. They'd said it would be easier for family support, for helping each other out. I'd agreed because that's what I always did. Agreed, accommodated, bent to keep the peace. That account now had $47,000 in it. My savings, my emergency fund. Money had worked hard for. I logged into my bank's website and removed their access. Removed them as authorized users. Changed all my passwords. Secured everything. Then I blocked all their numbers. I didn't tell them I was doing it. I just did it. The next morning at 8:47 a.m., my phone rang from an unknown number. Ms. Jennifer Walsh? Yes. This is Derek Morrison, branch manager at Pacific Union Bank. I have your mother, Patricia Walsh, here in my office. She's asking about some account access issues. I'm sorry, what? She's indicating that she had authorized access to one of your accounts and now she's unable to access it. She's quite upset and asked me to call you to clear this up. Mr. Morrison, I removed her access yesterday. That account is mine. She's no longer authorized. I see. She's claiming there was some kind of mistake. There's no mistake. I deliberately revoked her access. The account is in my name only now. I heard my mother's voice in the background. Let me talk to her. Ms. Walsh, the manager continued, your mother is insisting this is some kind of error. She says there was family money in that account. Every penny in that account is money I earned. My paychecks, my savings. She was an authorized user as a courtesy, but it's my account. I have every right to revoke that access. Of course you do. I just wanted to confirm before we. My mother's voice got louder. Tell her to fix it. Tell her she can't just steal from family. Mr. Morrison, I said clearly, please inform my mother that I haven't stolen anything. That account contains only my money. She has no legal claim to it. And if she continues to harass me or your staff about this, I'll consider it financial harassment. Understood. I'll explain the situation to her. Thank you. I hung up and immediately received 3 calls from different unknown numbers. I didn't answer any of them. An hour later, my doorbell rang. My brother Marcus stood there, looking angry and uncomfortable. What the hell, Jen? Hello to you too. Mom called me crying. Said you stole money from her and locked her out of your account. I didn't steal anything. I removed her access to my account, the one with my money in it. She says there was family money. There wasn't. Every dollar in that account came from my paychecks. She was an authorized user for emergencies. But apparently, emergencies don't include my son's heart surgery. Marcus had the grace to look ashamed. Look about that. You promised Oliver you'd be there. You all did. He's 7 years old and he had heart surgery. Alone, with just me. We had the venue thing, which you could have rescheduled, or attended after the surgery, or literally any other time. I crossed my arms. But you chose a wedding venue walk through over a 7-year-old's heart surgery, and now you're all shocked that I won't hand over $5,000 for Diane's dress? It's for family. Oliver is family. Where was the family support when he needed it? Where were you when he came out of surgery asking why nobody came? He asked that. Of course he asked that. You all promised. He went into heart surgery believing his family would be there, and he woke up to find out none of you cared enough to show up. Marcus rubbed his face. Mom said it was a routine surgery. It was a 4-hour open heart surgery on a 7-year-old. There's nothing routine about that. We didn't know it was that serious. I told you. I called every single one of you and explained exactly what was happening. You chose not to listen. You chose to believe it wasn't important because that made it easier to skip it for wedding planning. So you're punishing us by locking Mom out of your money? It's not punishment. It's a boundary. She had access to my account as an emergency backup. She's proven she doesn't understand what an emergency is. A wedding dress is not an emergency. Oliver's surgery was. What about Diane's wedding? What about family supporting family? Marcus, I just watched my 7-year-old son go through heart surgery surrounded by strangers while his entire family was picking out centerpieces. Don't talk to me about family support. So that's it? You're cutting us all off? I'm protecting my son and myself from people who've proven they don't care about us. Yes. If that means cutting you off, then yes. He left without another word. That afternoon, Diane herself showed up. I almost didn't open the door. I can't believe you, she said the moment I did. My wedding is in 3 weeks, and you're sabotaging it. I'm not sabotaging anything. You sent Mom 50 cents, with a sarcastic note, And then you locked her out of your account so she can't even access the family emergency fund. There is no family emergency fund. That's my savings account, my money, and Mom is not entitled to it. She said you all agreed to pool resources for family needs. She lied. She convinced me to make her an authorized user just in case. I've never taken a penny from that account for anything but my own expenses. It's not a family fund. Well, we need it now. I need that dress. You need a $5,000 dress while my son recovered from heart surgery with no family support except me. Your son is fine. No, Diane, he's not fine. He's heartbroken. He keeps asking what he did wrong. Why nobody came to see him. Why his surgery wasn't important enough for his family to show up. Something flickered across her face. It was important. More important than a venue walkthrough. More important than wedding planning, because you all chose the wedding over him. Every single one of you. We didn't mean to hurt him. But you did. You all promised you'd be there. He went into surgery believing that, and he woke up alone except for me. I'm sorry, Diane said quietly. I really am. I didn't think about how it would affect him. Because you didn't think about him at all. You thought about your wedding, just like you're thinking about it now. You're not here because you care that Oliver is hurt. You're here because I won't fund your dress. That's not fair. Mather is asking me for $5,000 3 days after you all abandoned my son during heart surgery. Mom said you could afford it. I can afford it. That doesn't mean I'm obligated to spend it on you, especially not after what you all did. Diane's eyes filled with tears. So I can't have my dream dress because of one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It's a pattern. My needs don't matter. Oliver's needs don't matter. Only yours do. That's always been the family dynamic. But I'm done with it. What do you want? An apology? I want you to understand that actions have consequences. You chose your wedding over my son. Now I'm choosing my son over your wedding. That's fair. She left crying, but I felt no guilt. Over the next week, I received calls from relatives I hadn't heard from in years, all taking my family's side, all explaining why I was being unreasonable. I blocked every single one. My father sent a long email about family obligations and disappointing him. I deleted it without finishing. My mother tried to show up at my workplace. Security escorted her out after I declined to meet with her. Through it all, I focused on Oliver, his recovery, his physical therapy, his emotional healing. Mom, he asked one night, why didn't they come? Because they made a bad choice. They thought something else was more important than you. Was it? No, buddy. Nothing is more important than you. Not to me. And you know what? You don't need people who think weddings are more important than your health. You deserve better than that. Do you think they'll ever say sorry? Maybe. Someday. But even if they do, that doesn't mean we have to let them hurt us again. So we don't have to see them. Not if you don't want to. He thought about that. I don't want to. They made me sad. Then we won't see them. It's okay to protect yourself from people who hurt you, even if they're family. Even Grandma? Even Grandma. He hugged me. Good. I like it when it's just us anyway. 2 months passed. Oliver healed beautifully. His scar faded. His smile returned. He stopped asking about his grandparents. Diane's wedding happened. I wasn't invited. I didn't care. My mother left a voicemail. I hope you're happy. You ruined Diane's wedding by not contributing. Everyone knows what you did. You should be ashamed. I wasn't ashamed. I was relieved. Then 3 months after Oliver's surgery, a card arrived in the mail from my father. Inside was a check for $5,000 and a note. Jennifer, I'm not asking you to cash this. I'm asking you to see it as what it represents. The amount we asked you to contribute to something trivial while ignoring something vital. The amount that represented our priorities being completely wrong. You were right. Oliver's surgery was an emergency. The wedding wasn't. We chose badly. We hurt both of you. This check is what we should have offered. Help for medical expenses, support during a crisis, putting family first. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. I understand what we did. I'm sorry, Dad. I held that check for a long time. Oliver peeked over my shoulder. What is it? An apology. From Grandpa. Is it a good apology? I think so. He understands what he did wrong. Does that mean we have to see them? No. It means he's learning. Whether we let him back into our lives is up to us. We decide who gets our time and energy. I'm not ready yet. Then we wait until you are, or we don't. Either way is okay. I never cashed that check, but I kept the note because maybe someday Oliver would be ready to consider forgiveness. Or maybe he wouldn't. And either way, I choose him. Every single time.